I am going to share my screen. Oh, hopefully, yeah, I can do that even if I'm not the host. Okay. Uh, let's see. Okay. Can you? Yes. Okay. Lace, I can see you. Can you see this? Yeah. Okay. Where do I go? Get this out. Okay. Present, right? Maybe present full screen. There we go. Okay. Now I can only see you. So if anyone types in the chat or says something, you guys have to tell me. Super excited for October and all things fall. It's finally getting cold here in Minnesota, and so it feels like fall. So I'm excited for a fun month together. Super pumped for all the incentives that are coming. But first, let's celebrate September. In September, we had some rank ups. Marta ranked up to senior silver, which is a huge deal. Marta is Hannah Richardson's level one, and she just got started just a few months ago, I think. So that's awesome. Way to go, Marta. And then Linda and Tiffany both ranked up to silver, and they are both under Nancy. So super excited to hear more from Nancy, how she's duplicating and developing these silvers, and really excited to have both Linda and Tiffany on the team and ready to grow and share and hear a little more about that. And then our top enrollers for September, Marta added six, Tiffany added six, Lauren Farmer added six, Carly added five, Nancy adding four, Emily Burgess adding three, Patty, Jordan, Michelle, and Linda all adding two. So way to go, super exciting just to see that growth and like the momentum. I thought the end of the month of September was just like super fun. Like it was back to like the excitement of the last day of the month. Like people were adding people like crazy. Like it was just fun. Like it just felt really fun and I'm excited to keep going. And these are all of the people on Emily's levels 1 through 7. So if you are like lower than that and don't see your name there, that might be why. But who had team point increases in the month of September. So their points increased from August to September, whether that was like getting inactive people who hadn't ordered, ordering again, or adding new people. All of these people grew their team points in September. So that's a lot. And this is just kind of a snapshot of our October calendar. We will have fall accountability group and power hours every Monday night at 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. We have that balance before the holidays challenge group going on. It started today. If you're not already in there, go to Rising Jewels, find the link, and still add your current customers if they want to be in there too, if they have an order this month. Get them in there and just add value to people. On the 15th of October, there's going to be a holiday product launch. Super, super excited for that. It's going to be good and you're going to like it. And I'm really excited for it. Really, really excited. And just in a little corner here, I have the incentives. We'll talk more about that. Add three, earn a $150 Lululemon gift card. Like, even if you don't like Lulu, like, give it to your sister for Christmas. Give it to your kids for Christmas. Give it to your niece. Like, that's a huge deal. Like, that stuff is expensive. And I don't know. I have a 15-year-old daughter and she loves Lulu and it's insanely expensive. So if you add six, you get $300 of Lulu. I'm like, that's like Christmas for her. And that would be awesome. Also, the last month of the free shipping. For new VIPs, and then last month to redeem your perks. Just a reminder. So make sure that you get in there and redeem your perks and tell your teams to do the same. One other thing, the Rising Leaders Retreat in Mexico, going to Cancun. We all want to go there. So we're working on earning that, earning Icon Club. But one other thing that I want to point out is the next day pay. I don't think we have done a very good job of like saying this, but like it's a big deal. Like, so if someone signs up, say they sign up on Monday and they add a new VIP, like whatever, Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever, before Friday of that week, like they get paid the next day. Like, that's a big deal. So say, well, I don't have $120 to pay for the products or whatever it is. Like, if they add someone, did you ever do the math what they're gonna make?
So if you add 3 people in a week, you're getting the BBBs the next day. And the BBBs, like let's just say it's triplex. If you're new here, BBB is it stands for not Better Business Bureau. It stands for Business Builder Bonus. And that's 20% of the PB that your person just purchased. So Tiffany has somebody that just bought triplex. That PV, I think, is what, 105 or something? I think it's something like that. I can't remember. So Tiffany is going to the next day get 22 bucks. That does not count what she's going to get with pay points at the end of the month when we get our commissions. So basically, that's 66 bucks if you add 3 people in a week. So that's covering half of your cost of the products, which is amazing. And then you're going to get the $200. If you're new, you're going to get the $200. I want to say fast start bonus. I correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt like they were sending those out before commissions. I could be wrong, but anyways, you're still earning bank.
Yeah. So like that's huge. Like, hey, I can't afford that. Like, whatever, it's too expensive, whatever the excuse is, or, reason, whatever the objection is. Like, hey, let's get 3 friends and you're going to get 60 bucks on Friday this week. So, like, that pays for half of it. And then next week, like, that's huge. That's a really big deal. And I don't think that we've been like saying that enough, maybe. Like, so just so everyone's clear on that. And if you have questions on that, unmute and we can like talk about that more. But that's a big deal. So, don't wait to get paid with next day pay. And then free shipping on the skin health system, which is awesome. And then Lululemon. Like, we need to be shouting this from the rooftops. Even if you are like, meh, I don't really care about Lulu, like, there are people in your life who care about it, I promise. There is someone in on your social media who might see you share on your story about like, hey, if you refer 3 friends to Plexus this week or this month, you get $150 to Lulu, that's going to be like, whoa, I want that. Like, my daughter really wants a pair of those leggings or whatever it is, like for Christmas. And this is a way to do that for people. Like, that's a gift. So let's be sharing this because you never know, like, who, even if to you, you're like, meh, don't care about Lulu. Some people really that might be like a huge thing and you can give it as a gift and that's like huge. So in addition to that next day pay of like $60 and getting the like at the end of the commissions you're going to get paid like the $200 for going fast start and going silver. You're also going to get a $150 Lululemon gift card. So you make $300 and get a $150 Lululemon gift card. Like, that's a huge deal.
Can I interrupt really quick?
Um,
Do you
yeah,
mind? I was just
no.
going to say, I think that those 3 things, the bonus, like the $300, like for a new person, being able to tell somebody, hey, Gina, if you come and you do this business with me this month alone, you could earn, well over $300 by signing. You can earn $300 plus by signing 3 friends. You can earn a $150 Lululemon gift card, and all of that goes towards this contest that's happening that's really geared towards new people, where you can earn a trip to Mexico. I really think you'd be amazing at this. So to me, like that's a perfect segue to follow up with those dream teamers that you've been thinking about, especially now, sooner rather than later, so they can get a great head start on that Cancun trip because truly it is designed for non-jewels to earn this thing. And so I think just having those 3 points of contact, a trip for 2 to Cancun, $150 gift card to someplace a lot of us don't want to spend money on, but we would love to have, and then $300 plus bonuses and income is incredible. So reach back to those dream teamers because that those are really big things.
Yeah. And I encourage you, like, earn that $150 to Lululemon. Like, earn that yourself. Add 3 and earn it. Even if whatever, like you've never had a pair. One, I will tell you the leggings are like amazing. They are. They're stupid expensive, but they're amazing. They feel so nice. So, like, do it. Let's lead by example. Let's earn that. Let's share it on our social media and get other people excited about it. And just let's do it. So, I am super excited tonight to hear from Lacey and Nancy. They are rock stars. We've seen them like rocking all of the things, right? Like they are adding people, they're developing silvers. Nancy added someone today. Like Lacey's been here for, is it, have we been here 6 years, Lace? Yeah, still consistently doing her work and adding people and developing leaders over and over again. And so as we were talking about like who should we have do the team call? Like, do we want a Jewel? We were like, no, like we want our team, those who are like doing the things. You guys inspire the heck out of us. Every day you show up, you're consistent. Those hardworking North Dakota girls from tiny little towns in North Dakota with not millions of followers on social media. Nothing special or different than any of us. No offense. You guys are really special and we love you, but you're not that special. So super excited just to hear from you two. Like, what the heck are you doing? Any tips you have, wisdom. Thanks for sharing with us, guys.
Yeah, hi guys. Well, that summed up my whole talk. No, I'm just kidding. So we talked about so us jewels meet every Friday just for our own accountability. And so Liz and Em were kind of like, you guys should talk to us. And I was like, yeah. And then I got off the call and I like messaged them and I was like, wait, what are we supposed to talk about? Because I think in my head I was like, well, I've been here for 6 years and a lot of our team has been here for a while. And so I'm like, well, we know the things, right? Like we know what we should be doing. And I think I just thought we've been here a while. We know what we're doing. There's nothing new to share. And I think that's kind of, in a way, like that's kind of how I still feel. Like I don't think I do anything different or new than I did when I started, other than maybe not as many like messenger chats or, stuff like that. But I think that's just a good reminder of like, I think what we do it can be kind of boring if you let it be boring. Like if you're not doing things that bring you joy and maybe not connecting enough with people. But I think that's the secret sauce here, you guys. I think it's the consistency and it's doing things when you don't feel like it, like sending that message when you're like, oh, I'm tired. I've had a really long day, but I haven't done anything to like move my needle forward. But I truly think like, yes, it can be boring, but it's like wash, rinse, repeat, right? We share with friends, we add friends, we help them share with friends or teach them how to duplicate. And then we just continue to repeat that as much as we can. And so, and I understand, like, I know that can feel boring. But like I said, if you're not doing things along the way, like when Liz was kind of talking about the Lululemon stuff, that's kind of where my mind went was, I think we always used to say, we always want to have this long-term vision for our business. We don't want to just chase carrots, right? We've always said, like, don't just do this because you're trying to get the fun stuff. But I think it's okay to like, get the fun stuff because that's what keeps it really fun for us too, right? If you've been here a while and you're like, oh, I've like this is the second time I think we've done Lululemon since I've been a part of Plexus. Like we've had this contest previously, right? But I think it's okay to chase carrots because those carrots add up and they get you to your next rank or your next whatever. And so like that might be something that like you need to like make it interesting and keep it joyful. Um, I have notes here, otherwise I will just ramble forever. Okay. So okay. I feel like most people in this business, like we need to normalize like our point slipping back, right? Like they don't stay here forever, right? People come and go, like life things happen and people quietly go or whatever. But I think like we need to normalize like it's not normal to just hit your rank and continue to hit the next rank, right? It's very normal for people to come and go and to have that little bit of like, losing people as we're kind of having to rebuild back up. And so I think when you're kind of in that, I don't know, I hate to call it a low season because that sounds so negative, but when you're kind of in that season where you're like, you don't feel like you're maintaining or you don't feel like you're growing, I mean, I really think that's where like you should be connecting more with your people or really doing a lot more customer care just to stay like that helps me keep my belief up. If I kind of get in this funk of like, nobody wants to do this, everybody's ghosting me, nobody, I haven't added anyone in a while. I think that's a huge belief builder is like talking to your customers and just a good reminder of like why you're doing what you're doing. Hearing some of those stories. Like we've kind of done that these last couple of weeks, even here in accountability group, where we've had people share their testimonies just to like, not only does it help us get to know each other a little bit better, especially if you're new here, um, but it just helps us like remember like, wow, like we have really incredible products and look at all these people that they've helped. And like I've been a part of that. If it's somebody that's in your downline or a level one that you've added, like you have helped them, reach that next step. So I think that's a really good reminder of just like if you feel like you're on the downhill or you feel like it's just, yeah, like a lower season, we have to keep our belief up. And the other thing with that too, that I kind of got into this funk this summer where I was like, I think I was following some other leaders of other companies just more or I justified it like, oh, I just kind of want to see how they share or like posting ideas or inspiration or whatever it might be. But I think that's so easy to just, that's just extra noise and it's distracting. Whereas if you just keep your blinders on and you just keep doing what like you believe and posting like your feelings, not trying to follow all these different people. So one like suggestion or one thing I've started doing is just trying to like follow like two or three and plexus people is who I try to stick with because that's what I want to see and that's what I want to hear about. But just picking like two or three people and like that's what I've used to kind of keep my belief high as we're kind of figuring out how to like grow again and get to the next step. So maybe that is helpful for you if you feel like you're flooded with plexus people and you're watching all these diamonds that are in way different seasons than you, like it's okay to just pick a couple and continue to follow them just to keep your belief up. But I think when there's too much, it's so distracting. So how do you recommend only following a few? Um, so that I think takes a little getting to know different people. Like you might have to like watch people for a while just to kind of figure out, but like I mean, I'm very attracted to like the people who are very like bold in their sharing. So I think Christina Williams is very bold and Brittany Howard, they're on the same team. So they're probably very similar in that way. And then just like people that you relate to, like that you would connect with, that maybe they have a similar lifestyle as you, maybe it's another teacher or they used to be a teacher or maybe it's somebody that, homeschools and it's just kind of that lifestyle that you like. So those are the kind of the people that I've started following, people that kind of do some farm stuff, but also building their business and they're bold in sharing that. So I do think that is a little, especially if you're new, like figuring out who do I follow? But I know like you've always said like watch the leaderboard. And sometimes those are good people to kind of look at and just kind of see what they're doing too. So yeah. So one tip there. Okay. Um, the last thing I was going to talk about was just kind of in that same realm of when I talked about how we just kind of do the same things where it can feel boring. But I think making sure that you are not stuck in like management mode with your team and you're not just like you have to do your work first. So if you have, you haven't done your reach outs for the day or your customer care, like making sure you're doing that stuff first. Cause I also got into that rut where I was like in my team thread right away or jumping in these three-way chats instead of doing my stuff first. And it's very easy then your stuff gets pushed way to the back burner because the day just unfolds and gets crazy. And then you run out of time in your day to do your own work. And so I think that's a really important thing to remember. I feel like we've heard that from people, right? Like this isn't new information, but I think it's just a good reminder, like always do our work first and then and just stick with the basics. Like we don't have to make this complicated, right? Like posting, following up with your people, new reach outs or adding new friends. It's all the same process, right? It's wash, rinse, repeat. Like keep doing it, even if you're in the rebuild, stage, or even if you're, I mean, honestly, even if you're in momentum, you want to keep that up. Like you want to keep going. So, like I said, I don't think there's a secret sauce here. I think it's like consistency and doing things when you don't always feel like it. And if you have to go build your belief first, then go listen to somebody that inspires you or um, go message a couple of your customers or message in our thread and say, hey, can somebody share their story with me? Just like that's a great way to do it. Like and we're all willing, I think, to do that in our threads, obviously. But um, so Nancy and I thought it would be kind of fun to do a little question and answer. So I have a few questions for Nancy, and then she's going to tell you a little bit about what she's been doing lately because she's been on fire and duplicating like crazy. Okay, let me find. All right, you ready, Nance?
Sure.
Okay. So a couple business questions, and yeah, a couple more about duplication. So how are you finding and connecting with new people right now?
So, what I've been trying to do for myself is when I get up in the morning, is usually when I'm getting back on social. And I find that people that maybe can't sleep well at night, they are on social posting, adding to their stories, those kind of things. So, I'm seeing those new things right away in the morning. And so I'm trying to send out those personal touch messages um, at that time. So I'm really trying to do my own personal part, like Lacey was saying. We also have to do our personal things and then our team things also. So I am trying to focus on that in the morning. And many of you know that I was laid off in December and then I decided to start to sub. And I'm using that as a connection to just a different base of people relationships. And so I've been able to make some different connections through there also. And then, of course, in the rodeo world, there's always people coming and going there. So really just trying to make conversation with people at that point.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, what's been working best for you to start conversations without it feeling salesy?
Well, I always try and make some kind of connection, depending on if it's something with kids, with horses, with just something in life in general. And then I'll usually just move into I'm sure over the past year you've been able to watch my adventure, my gut health adventure, and see my transformation of inflammation that has disappeared. And I just kind of move into it that way. So I try and make a connection, and then depending on how long our relationship has been, I'll mention about maybe what they have seen over that period of time.
Yeah, perfect. I do the same. What tools or resources are you using to keep things simple and duplicatable?
Ooh, okay. Well, what tools and resources? Um, three-way chats has been very helpful. I use, I encourage anyone to be able to add me into a conversation. But starting out, I've been really asking a lot of my current VIPs about, do you know 3 people that could have, that may be able to see the same benefits that you are seeing? And then that's when I'll come in and just ask about putting me into a 3-way conversation with them, because they don't need to know everything. I can share what I know, and I have a lot of resources to even find out more. So just
And I
trying to do it that way.
and I think you're really good about hopping on the phone with people or Zoom or meeting them in person too, if they're
Yes.
local, if you
Hey,
can.
buddy.
Yes,
Yeah,
Yep.
Nancy's really good about that. And she's also had a lot of team members within the last probably, I don't know, year that have done a lot of like in-person things too. Or maybe not a lot, but it seems like
We have done some in person, doing some kind of fun activity. And so they've been really good about having friends there. And a lot of it naturally happens at that point.
yeah. Okay, last one. How do you balance letting people find their own groove, but yet still guide them, like when they're first getting started?
A lot of, as we follow up with someone that's starting to use the product, because we want them to be successful with use of the product as they may detox or whatever. The same with someone who's starting to share. And Tiffany can probably be a good example of it, or even Linda. I will just send a simple message. Is there anything you guys need help with? Do you want to get me in a 3-way conversation with anyone? More of that probably with Tiffany, but just letting them know that I'm there. And I will always pretty much say, if I am not available, remember Lacey that we were in a 3-way conversation with. She will make herself available if needed also.
Yeah.
And so, and then just offering graphics, any information to them. And I'll just use Linda as an example. She is not on social media. So I've been able to help her, of course, PDFs, but copying and pasting out of Trust Your Gut. So she's able to pass that on to someone. But yeah, Linda has been a great example of, we really don't need Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. It helps, but Linda has picked up the phone and people are hearing her voice and hearing her story by voice, and it's working for her. So don't let that be an objection from anyone. Face to face, hearing someone's voice is just as powerful as a side by side picture that you see on social.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else you want to add, Nance? You want to?
I know Lacey was talking a little bit about the points, and I came off the cruise in February on a high. All of a sudden ranked up to senior Ruby in March. Had calls with Liz and Lacey, and we had a plan. Still got it right here. We had a plan of, what it would take to get me on that cruise that was this summer, and it looked great on paper. But we have to always remember that we can only do so much also. When I had 1 month of growth after I went senior Ruby, and then points started diminishing. People's seasons are all different. And we always have to remember that we're always in a different season. We know the 4 seasons of the year for weather, but everyone as a person has a different season. And so that was a big moment for me to look at my points at the end of the month. And I'm like, oh, cruise isn't going to happen. It would have been fun. But I had to remember that everyone's timing has to be right. And speaking of timing, I have a little story. So you guys have seen Tiffany showing up. She's adding some VIPs, went silver, and she's just been doing awesome. And so back on my first cruise, we were all in our session and we all kind of left there with reaching out to someone and wanting to invite them to do this with us and be on that next trip with us. Well, I had reached out to Tiffany when we were on that ship, and I knew that Delvin would be going on the next one with me. I was just feeling positive about it. And I told her I'd love to see her and Jeremy off doing this fun stuff with us. And it wasn't the right time for Tiffany. And I want to say she might have told me twice since then that it wasn't the right time. And so January, no, what month are we in? July, August, maybe August, I had reached back out to her and pretty much asked her, is this the right time? And she had came back and said, well, what does it cost to invest in this? And I'm like, you've already invested what you need to. You have bought product for yourself and Jeremy. You guys have a story. And I said, that's all it's going to take at this point, is sharing your story and letting others know what it could possibly do for them. And Tiffany took the weekend to think about it. And I think it was Monday, she was messaging, wondering what she has to do next. And she sent me some ideas for her first post about Plexus on Facebook. And the rest is all history. And look at her go. So it's important that we always remember everyone's timing is different, and we have to respect that. And I think that goes with products, and it also goes with sharing.
I'm a big fan of sharing often, or like dripping the business often and with everyone. Like even the people you're like, there's no way. But you never know. You have to increase your chances that way. Yeah.
Well, and it's kind of funny, the VIP that I added today, it's a gal that's been using the products for a couple of years, and I've asked her a few times about a referral. Is there someone that you could see that could benefit? Well, last week, about a week and a half ago, she messaged me, and it was right away in the morning. And she's like, you need to get a hold of Roger. And it's her ex-husband, but she knew his health history, and now she knew what it had did for her. And so again, it was just a timing thing. It was her time to share. So after 2 years.
That's awesome. We are super happy to have Tiffany and Linda here. I don't know if Linda can hear us, but I think she's
Linda
on.
and Richard. That's Delvin's uncle.
Okay.
That is Linda's brother, so he's on also. He lives out in Billings, so I'm guessing that we're probably going to have some team growing out in the Billings area. So,
well, welcome. You guys have any questions for us? I feel like it's nothing new that you probably haven't heard in other trainings, but I think it's just consistency and keep doing the things.
Can I ask Tiffany a question, if you wouldn't mind, maybe just answering?
You can unmute me. I'm just, dog sitting.
Your dog sitting? Oh,
she's just driving me crazy.
Question for you, if you don't mind answering. So you know how we kind of talked about this seasons. Um, what made it the right season for you to decide that it was okay to start sharing and it's something you wanted to do?
Well, it was a couple things. As Nancy knows, I have three children, and my oldest is in his second year of college, and my twin daughters are seniors this year. And so I have come into time that I haven't had for 19 years. And then I actually, the weekend Nancy asked me, I was listening to that book. I don't usually listen to whole books like self-motivation, but I was listening to the audiobook of Let Them by Mel Robbins, the Let Them theory. And I would say one of the reasons I was always so standoffish is because I don't like sharing on social media. I don't, I've always worried what people thought, and it's just been part of who I was. And as I was listening to that book, I was like, who cares if they think it's silly what I'm saying, or who cares if they don't have to read it if they don't want to. And I'm just sharing, my thoughts. And then I talked to my husband about it, and he's like, well, it's not like you just started using these. He's like, you have been using them for 2 years. And I can honestly say the triplex, I haven't like, I have consistently been using it for 2 years. And I don't know, it was kind of all of it together. I kind of wanted something to do. and I love seeing Nancy's posts when she'd post positive things. And I'm generally a positive person, even if that sometimes really, and I'll say that too, during COVID, one of my coworkers kind of made me step back from being so positive. She called me a positive Patty and told me, well, how are you going to spin this positive? And I was like, okay, maybe my positivity annoys people. And as I was listening to that book, I thought, who cares? Like, I like being positive, and I don't know, positivity. We can be positive or negative. It's way more fun to be positive, even with the dog.
Awesome.
So,
Thanks for sharing that with us.
That's what we got. That's all our wisdom.
Awesome. Well, it was impactful. It was great. It was what we know, right? But super helpful. We are inspired by you guys. I look up to you and am inspired by you both every day. And I love watching you guys grow. And I know this is just the beginning. And Nancy, look at you with all these people on here, like so much excitement. And I agree. Let's take over Montana. We did North Dakota. Now I got to get Montana. Let's do it. Thank you guys so much. Em, are you gonna lead the power hour?
I have a sick child that I need
Okay.
to tend to, and we didn't promote doing the power hour.
Oh
So
yeah, we did.
I'm gonna step away so I can go take care of her. But if you guys want to stay on, I will stop the recording and then people can stay on and just work together. Um, I wanted to say one thing about what Lacey said though, when she was talking about how it can feel monotonous and sometimes it can feel boring and sometimes we just would rather do something else. Um, the way that you make it fun is by actually doing the work. You can't do the work a little and then hope that everyone's going to see and everyone's going to come to you and then you're going to have your next runner and it's all going to just flourish from doing a tiny bit of work. If we want to have fun, if we want to have success, we have to have those conversations. And I can't tell you how many times I have talked to people on our team right here, right now, that have said to me, I forgot how much fun it is getting back into activity. And so I think that I just want to remind us all of that because I think sometimes if you've pushed the brake for a little while, it might be hard to think about putting that energy back into getting started. But the fact of the matter is, you're thinking about it a ton. So why not just send the message? Why not just do the thing? And then that's gonna, I mean, for me, when I've been in that position, I notice the weight starts to fall off my shoulders because I don't feel this laundry list of things I should be doing, and I need to be doing this, but I'm not doing anything because I'm just worried and I'm overthinking and I'm whatever. And the moment I get back into activity, I'm reminded of how much fun it is. Just hearing Tiffany talk about how she's been on the products for 2 years, I'm for sure going to get in touch with her and say, hey, can you share your story to our team to rebuild that belief for everybody here? Because when we dive back into people's stories, when we dive into our story, when we're communicating with people, when we're hearing from our customers that we're getting because we're talking to people, when we hear from our customers that they're having these amazing wins, that's fun. That's exciting. That's not boring. And you might be in a slump right now where maybe you are doing the things and you're not getting conversations going or you're not finding people to sign. If that's the case, reach out to your upline or to me or to one of the jewels and we can walk with you. And maybe there's just a slight shift that needs to happen in your posting or in your messaging or even in your mindset, because there are sometimes that I've seen people who are consistently working, but they have the worst attitudes. Tiffany, like you were saying, that positive Polly, I would much rather have somebody that's positive and passionate and excited to help than someone who's showing up, but just like, this is not going anywhere. This is the worst. Like that, people feel that, you know? And so I just think if we're sitting here thinking through all the energy that has to go into it, or we're thinking this is boring, or we're thinking this isn't fun, then you're probably not being consistent, or you're probably not showing up with the right mindset, or you may just need a small little tweak. And that's something that is easily fixable. And then it can start to be fun again. Because once you're having those conversations, it's dang fun. It's dang fun to know when you go to bed at night that there are other people in this country that are going to bed feeling better because you said yes and you helped them. That's it. An incredible feeling. All right, that's all I had to say. Thank you guys so much for your wisdom and sharing.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you guys so much. I have to hop off too. I have to go pick my daughter up from hockey tryouts. But it'll be on. So if you want to stay on and work, stay on and work. And we'll see you guys later. And send your what I did today in Gold Diggers.